I hope you're having a lovely afternoon. Thank you for joining us in other news. My name is Tracy Mukami, and today we are ready to give you the perspective of the journalists in our newsroom on the top stories from across the world. And this is what is happening in our newsroom today. Keith Atito is back. Hi Keith, I missed you on this panel.
It's a pleasure to be back. Thank you very much.
We have Vanessa Ndavi today. And Samuel Wainaina.
Thanks for having me, Tracy.
Samji, thank you so much for joining us. And matters COVID-19, I think repeatedly we've said it time and over again, until we win this war against this pandemic, this will continuously be the topic of discussion. Just to update you on some of the new happenings and developments on this, our reporter Elizabeth Mutuku did a story last night that is going to shape our conversation today. Let's look at the report.
Of the additional cases, 6 are from Nairobi, 1 from Mombasa, and 1 from Kitui. Nairobi now leading the pack with 37 cases. Kilifi follows with a distant 6, Mombasa 3, Kajiado 1, Kwale 1, and Kitui both registering 1 cases each. Kenya's confirmed cases stands at 50.
We have received confirmation of 6 patients who have tested positive for the coronavirus disease, and an additional 1 patient from the Aga Khan Hospital. This now brings the total number of confirmed cases in the last 24 hours to 8. The total number of confirmed cases now stands at 50 in the country.
The Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe urged Nairobians to refrain from traveling up-country, a move geared towards protecting the elderly who are at a greater risk of the virus.
We are encouraging those who stay in Nairobi against traveling up-country during this period. Statistics have shown that majority of our elderly people live up-country, and that they are likely to get exposed, as it happened in Italy, by this kind of movement. Therefore, we would like to urge, in the strongest terms possible, to urge those who live in Nairobi to stay in Nairobi, those living up-country to avoid traveling to Nairobi as much as they can.
However, the CS has demanded the boda operators to carry 1 passenger and to have protective gears to curb the spread of the virus.
We need to protect our youth who are in this industry as boda riders. And therefore, we will now require that any boda rider, to protect himself, must carry only 1 passenger so as to maintain some level of distance. Secondly, the boda rider and the passenger must wear masks for protection. We shall be spreading out masks in the counties for this purpose.
The Ministry of Health, in its projection study of the spread of the virus, has indicated Kenya's cases could hit a 10,000 mark by the end of April.
We have done modeling to see the kind of numbers that we are going to have. As Waziri said, this virus is not following a particular trend. Our modeling puts us at having about 1,000 cases by the first week of April. And we postulate that we'll have 5,000 cases by mid-April and potentially 10,000 cases by 30th of April.
Globally, more than 500,000 people have been infected by coronavirus, with over 35,000 deaths. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV 47, Nairobi.
So this story is informed by press briefings by both CS Mutahi and the Director General of the Ministry of Health. And some of the pick-up points that we have got is people are actually still traveling up country. Vanessa,
yeah,
your thoughts?
My thoughts, I think it's just better. We were told to stay home, save lives, try and minimize movement. I don't see the reason why I need to move from here back to the village, and I don't see what is the need of that. Like, just stay where you've been told to stay, because you don't know. We might say, my shosho is not sick, my brother is not sick, I need to see family. Since you've not, the question is, have you tested yourself? Once you decide, I'm moving from Nairobi to go to Kakamega or whatever place that your Ushago is, have you gotten tested? Because you cannot go there with the mentality that I am not sick as Vanessa, so I'm going to see my shosho. I don't know who I'm going to meet on the way. So I don't think it's a very good idea.
And you see, I think this is informed by the fact that a lot of Kenyans live hand to mouth, and jobs are not really stable right now, and Nairobi is actually very expensive to live in. I feel like a lot of people are just trying to make ends meet. Samuel, your thoughts?
Well, I think now the issue of feeding, hand to mouth, is something that the government has to chip in, because at the end of the day, there will be the part of acting accordingly. So if you, for example, say people to stay at home, there are people who cannot survive for a day without going out, because they work in the Vibarua industry. So what should be done? So what should be done to make sure that these people have something to give their families? So I think that's the question that the government should be able to ask, and of course give an answer to the Kenyans.
And I'm really glad we are talking about traveling. And Uganda, President Museveni has actually issued a lockdown in Uganda, restriction of movements to and from wherever it is that you will be, whether you're using public transport or private means. Keith, you've been following up on this?
Yes, I've been looking. I got the report yesterday. It was issued at 10 p.m., which was a very unprecedented time. But I think, as much as we always have a fascination about how President Eliud Kipchoge handles his country, this is one move that was very well calculated. Because at 10 p.m., everyone's at home. You are wherever you would go to at the end of your day. So wherever you are now, stay there. And I must applaud him. Looking at it, the concept of a lockdown across the world is being handled in the most fascinating way. Yoweri Museveni yesterday issued a lockdown at 10 in the night, blocking people from making any form of movement, which is the most assured way that the world has shown us of reducing the spread of coronavirus.
Yeah.
We look at India, where their lockdown, they send people out of the city, and that has caused mass crowding on public transport systems. The public transport industry has struggled to manage the masses. We look at Kenya, where our concept is still at curfew. And, we're left questioning, okay, is this curfew?
What are the lessons that we have picked from countries that have been able to reduce the number of infections? What was China doing?
China took a lockdown.
Absolute total lockdown, like Uganda?
However, let us be fair to ourselves and not compare ourselves with China, because China's concept of a lockdown was locking down a city-state or a city-town that runs autonomously, that can be run autonomously. Everything can be made within that space. If you take that concept and apply it to Kenya, if you lock down Nairobi, but Nairobi doesn't have fresh produce segments. Nairobi doesn't have as much industrial capacity to produce all the necessity that it needs and wants. So that complicates its relations with other counties. We know we get all our fresh produce in terms of greens from Kiambu County. We get all our animal products from Kajiado County. We get other supplements from Machakos, business from Kiambu. You see, that back and forth interrelation is what will be affected by a concept of a lockdown.
And Vanessa, I don't know if you've noticed border. I don't know if you've seen any border operators. Are they adhering to the things that the CS said? You maintain. How do you even maintain social distance kwa border? A lot of times umeshikilia mtu handuthi.
I'm left to wonder where will you be hanging from, or where you going to sit? There is not much that can be done. The ones that I've seen around, I haven't even noticed the sanitizer. Do they have it? Because in the matatus you would see the conductor will come approach you before you get there, and they're walking around with them. But the border now, the distance is very close. The way people sit, you're very close to each other. I don't know how is that supposed to
look at that. Like, this is how we are being told to social distance when you're on Anduthi.
How is it supposed even to work? And after the curfew, you can still hear them, like around where I live. I can hear them moving up and down, and I'm left to wonder, like, why are they still on the street?
Vanessa, stop setting them up. We're struggling to get home in good time.
I feel like young people should actually be put as part of essential services. Because these people who yes, for true, because these people who are leaving work at these weird times of the night, those people who belong to the essential services sectors, we are actually making an assumption that these people have means to get home.
But my argument is, why don't you plan yourself earlier? Don't go to the border guy at 6:30 and expect him to ride around like a mad person to take you home. It's your responsibility.
My point actually is, we have a bulletin today at 9 p.m. Gladly, I think we are sorted out on this end, but there are people who will be working up to late hours of the night, and they might not actually have transport to get them to where they are. I think this is a concern that has been through and through for people who are not able to access, because I'm thinking some of the other industries that are listed as essential services, we will not be able to find, not everybody will be able to find transport for themselves. And it will be just interesting to look at the next few days, how curfew people will continue to undertake this, and if we will see more of individuals battling with the police. And on the same note, I know Samuel is really vested in matters, just trying, inaitwa Mboni ya TV47, just trying to investigate some of these social ills and things that are not happening the right way. And police brutality is top on your list, Samuel.
Yes, you see that is an issue that has already been there for many times. You find that the conflict between police and of course the common mwananchi, it has always been there. But now we have always focused on the problem. You know, we have these organizations like IPOA. All they do is just document the conflicts. Of course, they forget to focus on the issues.
And you're right, Samuel, because we got reports that a young boy, 13-year-old, actually lost his life waking up this morning.
Yes,
and because last night, you saw the story?
Yes, it happened at a place called Kiamaiko. So you see that those are dreams, dreams shattered. So what's happening now is everyone is trying to focus. Everyone is scared. Parents are trying to provide for their families. You find that the police are trying to maintain law and order. But again, during in that situation, that's where crisis comes in, because people are afraid of the policemen. In the meantime, they want to do good for their families.
And I'm really interested in bringing Keith in on this, because last week Keith told us the police we are mannerless, and we actually need the police to police us in this brutal way. Now a 13-year-old boy has lost his life, not on the streets, on his parents' balcony. Keith, watetee sasa tusikie.
Well, Tracy, I'm not one to. I don't want to go back and forth on my word.
No, I want you to swallow.
No, I will not swallow my words. I'll actually step up and ask. Going back 3 regimes of inspector generals of the new police force, all of them have had one thing on their lips. They have said the reformed police force, the reformed police service. In fact, however, As I watched the news on Friday evening, I was disheartened. From as early as 5 p.m., we got news from Mombasa that police had turned on citizens. Police had turned on the people you're supposed to help to get home. We are not your enemies. We are not the enemies of the state. We are the citizens. We are the reason the police exist. So in this time, police are supposed to be continuing to serve the Mwananchi. I applaud the female police officer who has been captured assisting citizens to get home. That is what we are looking for. That is what the Kenyan people have wanted. So this curfew is not a curfew because we are cracking down on a lawless militia running around the country.
For sure.
No, we just want people home in good time to minimize movement so that we can curb the spread of coronavirus.
And I'm really glad we're mentioning these issues. I know that Parliament is set to convene today just to be able to analyze what has been done so far and instigate new measures to try and slow down the rate of infections. And that is a story that we'll be keeping tabs for you and will be in other subsequent bulletins on TV47. So stay tuned. Do not switch that dial on our bulletins. But I really want us to discuss yesterday's directive by the president that the private sector, individuals in the private sector will be able to lead a COVID-19 emergency response team. Samuel?
Well, I think every nation right now is trying to come up with an initiative. But I think for me, it's too late.
Really?
You know, we saw yes, we can say that we had no idea that this is going to happen. You know, the intensity of this. But I think we should always be ready. At the rate at which we are responding to emergencies, it's one thing, but it's a good thing that the government has started to come up with awesome initiative, because at the end of the day, when there's a pandemic, something should be done, and it's a good thing because people at home are looking what is our government doing to save our lives, to save our economy, so that at the end of the day, at the end of this pandemic, will we be able to get back to our lives?
I'm really glad that this is a public-private sector partnership.
Yeah.
We've seen some of the biggest corporations in this country fronting their people, and it's important to know. I know, Vanessa, you have facts on some of the people on this board, and who are these people?
The board would be chaired by Jane Karuku, and we have people like CEOs from the banks. We have the ABSA CEO, we have KCB CEO, Joshua Oigara, and we have Equity CEO as well, who is James Mwangi, as well as the Kennedy Kihara will be the secretary of the board. But my thought process would be, why don't we have economists on this panel? We're talking about money and planning. I think would have been a very keen idea to include them.
Well, in my opinion, so far from all the names being read, I think we have a dream team on that panel. We have a dream team on that endeavor. It's encouraging to me because these are personalities whom, for everything they have touched, turns to. They have what is called the Midas touch. Everything they touch has turned to gold. And I'm hoping that as we face this disaster, they will continue to show us their grade A leadership.
And what I really love about this initiative by the president is, last week on this show we asked ourselves, these pay cuts that these people are taking, where is this money going to go to? And some of the things that will be, some of these resources that will be used to fund this dream team include pay cuts by the president and other people in the government ranks. So it will be interesting just to look at some of the ways that this emergency response team is going to be tackling COVID-19. I had a small concern though, that the voice of the regular Mwananchi, someone who is actually on the ground and not interested in the, what do we call it, in the interests of businesses in this country, because I am skeptical that this might actually turn out to be just people who are taking their interests to the table just so that we are not told this bank collapsed, this is what happened. And it will be just interesting to look at how the private sector will be able to take us through this and the public-private partnership and how this will be taking shape, Keith?
Tracy, if I may, I'd say that the interest of the common Mananchi is well covered when you look at someone like Dr. James Mwangi on the panel, because Dr. James Mwangi's bank, Equity Bank, has grown to compete with KCB and other long-term players by looking at the interest of the common Mananchi.
But by looking at their interests first, remember it's profit-oriented. These are not non-governmental organizations that do not want to make money at the end of the day.
True. But for me to make money, I need you to have money. And I think that has been the concept of equity ever since. I don't want to sound like the brand ambassador or championing for them, but that has proven to be what they have been angling to do. Same as Safaricom, same as KCB. They have all come into the Kenyan space and ensure that, yes, we are the big players, yes, we handle the billions, but these billions come from 1 shilling from every other person.
It's interesting to look at one half of the private sector being willing. Remember, these people have been put there in their individual capacities, not to be
not as representatives
of the corporations that they work for. And the president yesterday, it was actually the CS Mutahi who urged employers in Kenya, do not sack people, do not reduce wages. And I am busy wondering, while the private sector is seemingly looking like they are really supporting these initiatives by the government, are they between a hard place and a rock? Sami?
Well, for me, I think when looking at the private sector, the public sector coming together for a common goal, I think that's awesome. But let's handle the truth as it is. If they come together and, for example, come up with a fund, having a fund is one thing, but ensuring where this money goes, who gets some amount, and when, that's when the problem will come in. The private sector rely on these workers, but you find that no work is done. But then the government is urging the private sector again to not fire these people, not give them a pay cut. So you find that there is a 50-50 situation here.
I think it's not even a 50-50. I do not know what government expects the private sector to do, because looking at industries like the alcoholic beverages industries, now we have curfew at 7 p.m. Keroche has actually stopped production of bottled beer, yet we still expect them to pay their salaries as promptly as they have been, and just expect them to keep benefits and people on the payroll. Are we putting our businesses to suffer? Because I'm looking at where do we go from this pandemic? We have left these businesses on the floor. Vanessa?
That's a very it's a very huge concern, especially when it comes to business, because the flower farms have sent back home the employees. Over 2,000 people are back home now. They had to destroy their plants and the flowers and go home because business is not going through. They can't fly the products. When it comes to hotels, down in Naivasha, at least 100 people are being sent home. And it's not only in Naivasha, it's the whole country. Go to Mombasa, people have shut down. They don't know what to do next. As much as I'm a private sector business holder and I want to keep you, Tracy, and keep feeding you and feeding your family, it's going to get very difficult.
Because also these people are individuals who want to put the interest of their families first as well. You do not tell me to give you what I do not have.
Well, Tracy, if I may, I'd like to say that I saw this from the very beginning and I'm seeing it into action now, that this virus, this pandemic, this calamity is bringing humanity back. It's bringing a grave change into the space that we have known for so long. Look at, you've mentioned Keroche breweries. They've shut down their bottled beer production line. However, you can still sell beer if you're selling it in cans. Because our challenge is things that are recyclable and risk spreading the virus. So as opposed to me buying a bottle of beer and sitting down with my friends at a bar, let me have my canned beer at the house and watch TV 47.
You're missing the point here, because you actually are, because how these businesses operate on an ordinary basis, this means now they have to change their tact. If, for example, it's distribution for these industries, and EABL has actually focused on producing canned beverages.
Exactly.
You see, but the capacity of these organizations, Keith, are not the same.
Well,
the structures are not the same. You see, so at the end of the day, I think businesses still suffer. At the end of the day, it will be interesting to look at how people will be coping with this pandemic. And I think on this note, before you answer, Jonas, nakusikia tu.
I can feel it coming.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Even me, Tracy, I wanted to ask him. He's talking about humanity.
We will hold these thoughts. We will hold these thoughts. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you for staying with TV47. This is In Other News. My name is Tracy Mokami, and these two guys have decided, they have agreed to disagree off air. During the break, we had a heated discussion, and we have to agree they will pick it up in the newsroom in the interest of time, because if we let them on and on, we might not be able to cover everything that we wanted
we'll give you guys the answer on our Twitter handles. Follow us.
For sure, for sure. My handle is at Tracy, Ke. Follow us, yeah? Your handle?
I'm at Atito Keith. Atito Keith.
Yeah? Vanessa?
At Vanessa Ndavi.
Mensami?
At Sam Gitito.
Nice. Yeah. On a more somber note, the Catholics in Kenya are actually in mourning the passing of Ndingi Mwananzeki. And I don't know if we should just pass on our condolence messages, and because I think for me growing up, Ndingi Mwananzeki was one of those people who are very revered, yeah?
Yeah.
Keith,
Yes, as you say, growing up, I think every time you mention the Catholic faith, it would be synonymous with His Grace Archbishop Ndingimwana Nzeki, and he has been a figurehead for the church for the longest time. It's unfortunate to learn of his passing at this time, more so that we'll not be able to give him what we'd consider a befitting send-off, given the times, given the government orders.
Yeah.
However, we grieve with the Catholic Church.
Yeah, for sure. And also, we have reports that the ex-president of Congo succumbed to COVID-19. Just to make sure, just to let you know that Ndingimwana Nzeki did not succumb to COVID-19, as might be popularly assumed. I have actually seen people on social media grappling with that question. But the ex-Congo president succumbed to COVID-19, and this has increasingly, the disease is continuously taking toll on the continent. But even as Africans mourn on this, Prince Charles has actually been cured. He's recovered from the disease.
Let's say recovered. We do not have a cure for this, but
We don't have a cure yet.
he has recovered.
Sammy, have you seen these reports?
Yes, I have seen the death of former President Joaquim Opango, and of course, may he so rest in peace. And of course, when we talk of just like my friend Kid is saying, the prince has recovered. So we can only say that he has recovered, because we don't know whether these symptoms will recur again.
I think I have a problem, because has it really been 14 days?
Exactly.
Has it really been 14 days since? Ama, there is a cure, these people are not.
No, Tracy, we need to understand that this is the royal family we're talking about,
Yes.
and the royal family is notorious for not giving information. Over time, they play their cards very close to the chest, and thus we don't expect to get all the information from them. Probably by the time they're letting us know that Prince Charles had been testing positive, he was probably 13 days in.
Probably.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But the fact that he has recovered, it's some good news.
It is good.
The word
For sure.
needs right now.
It just leaves you wondering, is it royal graces?
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I don't know, is it giving hope? Or it's good to give hope to those who might be sick and have family members, but as well, before you share these details, it would be nice if you could see. I know that's not possible, or maybe they'll share, we don't know. But I thought there was a period of 14 days, like Tracy is saying.
I think the royal family, as Kit says, is very stingy with information. Yeah. They have refused to humanize.
And Tracy, let's acknowledge
the royalty. Yeah.
Let's acknowledge this is the heir to the throne.
Yeah.
The immediate heir to the throne. We do not want to show. They will not want to show the world that there's any probability of weakness or it's the throne. It's the royal family, the last existing dynasty of the 21st century.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I'd like us to look at a lighter story. And in Namibia, the youngest MP and minister in Africa, a 23-year-old lady by the name Emma Theophilus, we have been challenged as a country as we recycle people from the Golden Bank scandal. Other countries are so futuristic looking at. Yeah, Sammy?
Well, I think in Africa, and of course I'm happy for that lady, but we have grown in a generation where we believe that if a person is at their 50s, that's when they deserve their ministerial.
Have you had our president akisema yeye ni kijana?
That
makes you a toddler, my brother. Now you're that makes you a toddler.
No, Tracy, it makes me wonder, what have I been doing with my youth?
Exactly.
Someone at 23 is a minister, a cabinet, a government cabinet official.
I know.
And here we are, fellow youth.
Memes and TikTok challenge.
Girl power.
You know?
Yeah.
We need to take up the mantle. I applaud Kenyans. Yes, we've had a lot of young people achieving great things. We know we have had the youngest MP in Africa at 21 years old. And we keep on trying to push that envelope. I think it's time that as a Kenyan people, we start believing in our younger selves.
And because there were issues that were raised on the competence of this young lady, and just trying to look at whether she's actually capable. She has the capacity to be able to do the duties that have been assigned to her. Vanessa, what are the messages to these young people?
My message to that lady first, to Emma, is congratulations. Don't listen to the elite, those ones Tracy is saying, the ones who have been recycled over and over in the government. We've seen that. The old boys, the old guys. So keep on. She's a very learned young lady, and I'm sure she will do well. Don't listen to anyone. And the young ones, this is something positive for you to look on and say, you know, what am I, like Keith is saying, what was I doing on my, when he was that age? We will not ask him that on air. We'll have that chat later.
Or ask him how old he is.
We will not do that trick.
I'm a fossil. I just don't age. I'm a fossil.
So be encouraged and inspired.
Sure.
It's time to sit back, think, evaluate your life, and really decide what do I need to do.
And I really like that this is not just for this appointment to happen. It just shows that Africa and their young people are actually rising to claim and just put themselves on these platforms where these talents can be seen. And it should be interesting just to look at the young people. We are not leaders wakesho.
We're leaders now.
Today,
Today.
As you're asking about the competence of Emma taking up this position, we need to understand that the job of cabinet secretary or a cabinet position isn't to answer all the questions. It's to lead the charge.
Yeah.
You have a panel. I need that collective word. I need to find my English to find that collective word. But you have a collection of professionals at your disposal to consult with and act upon.
Yeah.
So it's not. Let's not say that she is unqualified. No, if she needs the wisdom of a professor, she calls up a professor. If she needs an engineer, she calls up an engineer. It's not all upon her.
Yeah.
So that's where we go wrong. We assume that because you're CS, it's all upon you to.
You need to have all the knowledge and skills that are required. Yes, Sammy.
Yes, I like to agree with Kate. The only thing that maybe she lacks is experience, but I believe now the best way to have experience is to be a part of the game
on the job.
And I really love that we are working in one of the most progressive newsrooms that is giving us young people these platforms and letting us showcase what we have.
Yeah.
So asante, tunajipigia debe saying thank you.
Big up to management.
Smile back.
Yeah. So it will be interesting just to see how the youth will be taking up this challenge and being able to fill these shoes that we are being told are too big for us to be able to fit.
Just we're not going to fill shoes.
Yeah.
We're going to make new shoes.
Let's make new shoes.
We're making new shoes.
Kiss is the punchlines. Thank you. We agree. So have you guys seen that China is putting a ban on consumption of wild animals?
Tracy, how is that going to work?
Well, it's a complex one. It's a complex.
For the first time we had a moment of silence as you guys are contemplating. Hiya. So, halafu.
the kind of animals that these people eat. I don't want to talk, but the kind of animals that these people eat. Jesus Christ.
But Samiji, let's understand why China has needed to eat everything that they could see. It's because
I actually saw a meme, Key.
Yes.
Have you seen that meme where aliens are like, we come in peace?
And Chinese
They actually have it. Let's look at that. Yeah, I'm told we have it in a bit.
See, Tracy, like I was saying, why I feel it's a catch-22 again for China. China has a population of 1 billion.
Yeah.
Understand, Chinese was added to a UN language simply because one country's populace clocked a seventh of the world. Hence, we needed them. Now, if you have 1 billion people in your country, how much cattle do you need to have to provide enough meat? How much pig do you need to have to provide enough pork?
Right there. We come in peace.
That was why they were given the order. In fact, it was an imperial order for the Chinese people to eat whatever because they needed to.
No, I don't agree with you.
Yes, Vanessa.
Because you have 1 billion people does not give you the chance and the opportunity to say we have to eat everything because we don't have enough. China can provide for their citizens.
Not everything. Is it edible? Yes. Then why are we struggling?
But now look what has this done to the world?
Yes,
I think
however,
the point here is that if reducing the the consumption of wild animals will be able to reduce the pandemic. I think it's a good way to go for the Chinese government, Kid.
I think this is not an issue. I think we are missing the point here.
Yeah.
It's not the consumption of the wild animals, it's the consumption of these wild animals raw.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, no,
I don't know if you guys have seen.
I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have. A lot of Chinese cuisine is made up of a lot of things that are not necessarily cooked. I think there's a reason we invented fire, guys. To pick it.
So,
okay. Officially, I'm tongue-tied on that one. Give me a moment. I'll be back to give you a response to that. But no. What? No. I left it at fish. What else?
Hey, we're past sushi.
Yeah, past sushi. Hey, as we have moved on into the future and eating things raw.
But why are we going so far away? I am made to believe, and I stand to be corrected. I'm made to believe that Ethiopia eat their beef raw.
Yeah, they do.
And I think it just boils down to the fact that a lot of times, I don't know, my grandmother tells me naitwa ugonjwa ya maziwa na nyama.
Eating raw food.
Yeah, like there are diseases that are associated with eating raw animal products because the transmission of disease can happen from dead animal carcasses directly to humans. So it will be interesting to just see how the Chinese culture will be now changing. Guys, wa sushi, tafadhali.
Well, I think they should come up with a list of what should be fried.
What should be
because in Kenya people fry everything.
Samiji, let's not say fry. We know there's a certain lot of our people who Maji,
wait.
I'm just putting it out there.
But Samji, the other thing is we need to decide what can we. Okay, these Chinese people, I don't know. I don't sound like I'm attacking anyone. But
wow.
Can we just get can they be given a printout of this? You can eat this. You need to cook
a government
or something.
publication.
Because if you go to Manila, they eat raw chicks. You know, like the kabebi.
What do you mean by raw chicks, Vanessa?
The raw, before the eggs hatch, they will break the legs.
Oh, that is what you mean.
Chicks, raw chicks.
That one called Keep Smiling Bunny.
Keith is smiling fishy. Keith is excited.
No.
Chicken, they're called chicks, right?
Yeah, they actually
are.
They are either. It's actually a cuisine, but nothing. Keith,
it's okay.
Kid, are you okay?
I'll be good. Eventually.
Yes,
you know, they've been eating that since way back, and nothing has ever happened. We just need to come up and decide, this can be eaten raw, this is edible, this is not.
And I think before they get there, it's important just to put a ban on everything. Yeah, and try to find ourselves back. And you see, actually, someone was actually rationalizing this for me and telling me the fact that the Chinese live, their lifespan is way longer, they're more healthier than most populations, even with them being in their billions like that, is because some of these raw things that they actually consume are for medicinal purposes. And Chinese medicine has actually been proven by science to work. So it'd just be interesting to look at some of these changes and yeah, it will be interesting to see.
Can we stop selling the stuff in that country?
This is the first
Probably
case.
It's easier.
This is the first time I will put it on air. I am suffering cognitive dissonance. What you're saying vis-a-vis what I know are not adding up.
Really? What do you know, Keith?
I know a fair amount. However, raw animals, I'm still at that point. I'm stuck. I'm sorry. My brain has shut down at that point. So let's move to something else that we can get. We can get my mind running again.
For the first time, Keith Atito is buffering.
Yeah.
For the first time, I have
system reboot required.
This is a rare occurrence. Among other stories that we needed to look at today is how people are spending quarantine. I think let us count ourselves lucky that we are still working, guys. People are dying of boredom in the house.
No,
I think we have clips on how people have been spending quarantine. I think we will be getting that in a minute. What else is happening? So a man in the United States today was arrested by cops. You know what this guy was doing?
Tell us. Tell us.
niwapea maoni. So this is what this guy was doing. He was teaching his dog how to drive.
Wow. That's boring.
And I really think this is a very smart human being, because in this era where COVID-19 is not being transmitted to animals such as dogs, akona errand guy.
Okay.
Dog drives to the supermarket.
So Tracy, let me just make sure I'm on the same page with you. I just want to be sure I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah.
That you will trust your dog to get into your car. Tracy, I know your car. So your car. And drive to the butchery to pick up an order of meat that you call the butcher to prepare for you. Probably a nice piece of steak, right?
Now you're pushing.
And then put it back in the car and drive that car back home. I'm not sure where my worry starts. Is it that the car will be total before it gets there, or that your meat will not get home? I'm not even sure. But okay, carry on. Have fun. Kudos to the man. He should get a Nobel Prize one day.
Well, I think the guy was just preparing for worse times to come.
Really, people? Really?
Reports say that this guy was actually high on substances that we do not want to mention.
On that basis, yes. Now I understand.
And
now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
Otherwise, come on.
So we are encouraging guys, mukunywa maziwa, nini. During this quarantine, do not abuse drugs. Mukunywa maji.
I know a certain friend of mine, I will not mention her name. Her boss sent her a message and told her, please stay at home, stay safe, and we need you after this to cut down on the alcohol. Yes, my dear lady friend, yes.
You have been told.
I am telling you as well. Please, we need you after all said and done.
Become clubs, eh?
For sure. Yeah. And I don't know why people are still holding house parties. Why? We had reports yesterday. Clifford Ndubi was on set, and he was telling us that people have not. Keith is encouraging people to buy cans of beer to go home.
Sit alone, enjoy your beer. People, you need to learn the concept of loving thyself as you love thy neighbor.
Enjoying your company.
How do you enjoy your beer by yourself?
How do I enjoy myself?
Yes.
You see,
how does that work?
Samiji, that you have refused to invest in your house and you invest in going out and about all day, every day. I am sorry. I am sorry.
It's getting personal.
It's a mistake
I need to shout at someone when some 3 beers kick it. I need to shout at someone.
It's okay. Why? Shout at yourself. Go and look at the man in the mirror. Go see the man in the mirror. Remind him of the failures he has had so far.
I have actually seen videos online. Yeah, people sitting with glasses on opposite sides of the table.
Date yourself.
Yeah, and you cheers your glass, and then you go to this side, and then you're playing cards by yourself. I think human beings were just not made to be alone. For isolation. By the way, it's really getting tough on guys, and we actually have videos of what people are doing. Let's see what you guys are doing.
Wewe. Wewe.
It's Friday in Naivasha. Las Vegas. Machakos.
Yeah?
Oh, you see, that means your house is empty. You gonna meeting the last week na gizaria Monday.
Who mtu ametoa hizi mawe wapi? He's not supposed to be going outside.
He's going outside during the day.
During the day.
During the day. Okay. All right.
Can go
play your childhood games. You know, I applaud my sister. My sister would hide in her room for 5 hours. And you come and find her playing with dolls and wondering,
people are,
what have you been doing?
But kids, you can learn a new skill though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
P who's 23 years now.
And parents are going crazy.
Learn a new skill. Read a book.
Look at these guys. Watoto hawako shule. Parents are screaming left, right, and center.
This is your time to bond with your kids, Tracy, I reckon. What do you think for parents?
Yeah, this time for them to find the lost love, you know.
Bond.
Spend time, yes.
Get to know your kids
You guys are talking
better.
about
Know
lost
their
love.
talents.
I think I am going to speak for parents here and say,
Go ahead.
hey, it's hard.
It is hard. Try.
It's hard because
These are concepts foreign to African parents. African parents an African parent knows my child goes to school.
Yeah.
And then comes home, and then does chores, and then goes to bed.
For sure.
So you're telling me, Ati,
Talents.
I do what? I bond.
Yes.
Bond with my
This is
child.
It's only a 4-letter word.
Yes, Sammy.
Lost Africa. I think the word means different things to different people in this world.
Yeah.
True.
The kind of bonding in the Western countries and the kind of bonding in our country is totally different thing. Even
Bonding is in Kenya is you sit down.
some guys cannot stay in the same room with their dad.
Bonding in Africa, in
are you
Kenya
talking
means
about?
you just sit around, ungoje mama yako akutume remote. Your parent just wants to see you around there and quiet, not
Like a thing.
Yeah, just quietly.
You're an errand thing, you know. He uses to be go, come back, go. And what are you doing on your phone?
Yeah.
But there's nothing you have to. You know, I remember after I finished high school. While you're in high school, your parents always tell you sit and read. So now you're not in school. Now you don't have homework. Now you can't go to tuition or whatever.
I know.
So your parents left looking at you like, so what am I supposed to do with this thing? this guy human I birthed some years back and is now here in my house. What is its value? Driving school,
Wow.
umerudi. Computer packages, back. So now,
It will just be interesting to see to what limits African parents will be pushed.
but
Yeah.
we have to be appreciative that parents fear not. TV47 is here for you. We have a movie probably after this. I'll check with our directors. We have a movie for you and your kids. It has enough entertainment to keep them glued to the screen.
For sure.
You can do whatever other things as
And
you wait.
learning as well, if that's the thing. Vanessa is telling us to learn a new language, learn a new skill.
Yeah.
MKU lectures. Yeah.
We're on.
Yeah, you don't have to go to university anymore. We have our lectures coming
Hiya,
live.
Keith.
Just watch and listen.
Well, you will not get the degree. You will not get the degree
But at
because
least
you
you
not
get
done
to
the
learn,
exam.
yeah? At least
But
you get to learn.
Utamanza argument na aki wewe sasa. No.
Kwenda.
Wewe kwenda. No. We're giving you a chance to better your argument skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's trending today? I saw
Hey.
Eliud Kipchoge, as they call him in the Western
No
countries,
man is limited.
wearing some of the most expensive brands.
Okay.
Sami, unaweza vaa hizo ninio? Kaptura,
well, I
nini
think-
inaitwa kaptura?
Well, I think when it comes to issue of how an outfit looks, I think I go for the looks, not for the designs. Maze. Hizo makoti maze.
Guys, why do I have a feeling that these things are only expensive because of the person wearing them? Why do let's look at fashion over the past 10 years. Going from far west with the very minimalist, for lack of a better word, outfits that our ladies have been rocking on red carpets, to Lady Gaga's fashion statement with meat. Lord help us.
Like, yeah.
Hey, raw things.
And now come to Eliud Kipchoge's outfit today, or rather past 24 hours, and look at them and like, okay, fine, they're trendy. They are trendy. However, I am certain if students of a certain university I know here in the CBD in Nairobi were to walk into their school dressed like that, they have what they
They're
call
called
fashion
laughing
police.
stock.
No, they have what they call fashion police. You know yourselves, I have not mentioned names. If you walk into an institution like that, please tweet us, tell us, will you be let in? You know, this university that somewhere, it's good in business, no names mentioned.
Hey,
And-
Kitu Strome.
And our very own
Well, I think-
Alan Owino. I need his insight on this because he's an alma mater of that institution. I need his insight to let me know. You know, is it just fashion for fashion's sake, or are we going somewhere? Are we going somewhere back?
Well, I think for him it's okay. I think for Eliud Kipchoge, it's okay.
I think you
Different
guys
watch
might be missing the point. I think we need to hear a lady's voice in this one.
Yes.
Vanessa.
First thing, fashion, whatever I decide to wear, just let me be. It's
All right.
Eliud Kipchoge. He's done us guys proud. The list of,
159.
so let the man be.
He can wear anything. We will be happy.
Not anything, Tracy. No.
But this is anything.
Me, I really had a problem by the way with the kaptura.
What was your problem?
With the kaptura, kaptura ni nini, Sami?
The trouser, right?
The kaptura is a short. What is a short called in Swahili? Guy nimechoma picha. What do we call a short? Like a short in Swahili? Guy naambiwa ni kinyasa. Guy.
You see, I've kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't even try.
Okay, we get it.
You get what I mean, yeah? Yes. And this shoot had him looking like our old guards in the 40s.
Like I said, we're probably going back. You know, we're going fashion. Backward. Yes.
Okay.
Who knows?
It will be interesting to see those trends. So are you going to buy some of this Fendi, Keith? Utavaa your short?
Me?
Yeah.
Next you'll ask me if you'll see me on Snapchat. That's what you'll be asking me next. Like, Keith, are you on Snapchat? we need serious questions here, people. And choose your fights.
Kabla unirusha bawe. Let's look at everything else that is trending. Kabla you told me here. We have memes that we found funny on the interwebs today. Let's look at this. So, haitui mtu wa corona. Tafadhali parents, tell your kids Mutaki Kagwe is the health cabinet secretary. Is here mtu wa corona. Yeah, I'm telling you, kids will show things people. Will show people funny. Things.
Expect the unexpected with the web and with Kenyans. I love how we can always be creative. We'll think about the unthinkable and make it a meme.
Yeah. Museum closed finally, allowed to sift after so many. Like Mona Lisa was just minding her own business, guys. You know, like for this day. And I don't know why people really abuse this portrait. I think it's because it's really popular.
Let's have fun with it. Whatever you. Have you ever seen the Mona Lisa yourself? No. So this is your rendition of it.
Sammy, what does this one say?
Nilizima ile gas kweli. Oh, niko ushago. Tunatumianga kuo.
This is for those people who have been traveling up country.
Yeah, country.
Acheni kuenda guys. Hakuna sasa, it's so unnecessary kuota ndoto kama hii man. It's very unnecessary, guys.
No. You're told surprise thyself. No human is limited. Push your limits. Push the limits of your dreams. You know? You're done worrying about, am I going to work?
At least if they don't have in reality.
You know? Exactly.
It was a pleasure having you guys on the panel. You at home watching us. Thank you so much for tuning in. For In Other News, see you tomorrow. My name as always is Tracy Mokami.
I'm Keith Atito.
I'm Vanessa Ndavi.
My name is Samuel J.
Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Yeah. Sammy, it's not nice.
No, it's fine.